Beach FM kick-off sports breakfast show with HMC Kapiti, your local authorised Kia and Suzuki sales and service agent, and now your local AA Auto Centre. At HMC Kapiti, the journey just gets easier. Find out how easy online at hmckapiti.co.nz.
You're back on the Kick-Off Sports Breakfast Show on Beach FM 106.3. Let's talk women's rugby now, and let's welcome in the head coach of the Wellington Pride. It's Ross Bond. G'day, Bondy.
Damian, how are you, mate?
I'm good.
To you.
I'm good, mate. How are you doing at this time?
Yeah, not too bad. Not far away from kick-off, mate. So it's pretty exciting times, and a hotel full of girls that are ready to go and rearing to go.
Absolutely, mate. Yep, Tasman this afternoon in Blenheim, but it's a bit of a journey to get here with everything that's going on. I'm sure there was actually a moment there where you guys might not have even been, the thought might have crossed your mind that you might not have been playing this year?
Yeah, very much so, mate. It was once we headed into lockdown and the whole country sort of ground to a halt, the thoughts were there, and I guess there was a fair amount of disappointment across the group. They'd been working pretty hard since sort of basically January, and then just sort of we came out, we went back into the club sort of scene, and then back into level 2. And I guess New Zealand Rugby has to be commended. They sort of pushed the competition back, and the re-emergence of COVID in Auckland, I guess, put another spanner in the works. So, we were meant to start last week against Otago. They've rejigged the draw, and we've now got Otago at the end of the comp. So we're pretty lucky, mate, to have, a Farah Palmer Cup and a Mitre 10 Cup. And I think both competitions are going to be pretty good ones as we head forward.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen a change in the women's format this year, haven't we, though?
Yeah, we have. Look, they've traditionally been the Premiership and Championship, and last year we were beaten Premiership semi-finals. Auckland knocked us out. And then they went through against Canterbury, and the Cantabs came through and won that. So what they've done this year with the COVID implications is a southern zone and a northern zone. So we're in a pool with Otago, Canterbury, Tasman, Hawke's Bay and Manawatu. We play a round robin, and then top 2 head into semi-finals, and then through into a final. So yeah, we got the southern pool. So a chance, I guess, mate, to play a couple of different teams that we wouldn't have been drawn to play against, and an opportunity, I guess, for us to keep rolling forward.
That's the one, mate. This is the role that you took over in 2017. You won the championship in 2018. You just mentioned the semi-finalists last year. What has been the key for you to take the reins here over the last 3 years, Bondi, and keep the team going and progressing forward?
Yeah, mate, look, it was a bit of a challenge, and I'd had a reasonably long stint in the men's game in the club scene in Wellington, and of course 2 stints with Horowhenua Kapiti in 05, 06 and 08, 09 in the Heartland comp. I'd finished at MSP, a couple of Jubilee Cups that Brendan Reedy and I had taken the team to, and then I was sort of like cruising a little bit, feet up, wondering what the hell I was going to do. And I got a call from Earl Varr, actually, who was the director of rugby at Wellington Rugby Union at the time, and said, would I be interested in taking the Wellington team on? To be honest, mate, I didn't have a lot of understanding about how that would pan out, or I guess, even the players. I knew some of the players through my involvement at North. Sunita Lavave obviously was one that I'd had a bit of time with there. Amy Sartorius, who is now helping coach Otago. So look, I sort of jumped off the bloody diving board into the deep end. Sort of sat down with a few of the seasoned players who'd been around for a while. Jackie Patia Ferretti, Sunita Lavave, with Acacia, Tiwi Marti, with 3 that I spoke to. And then it was, Wellington Rugby sort of said, look, they suddenly realised, and it was about that time that the New Zealand Rugby Union started to put some real energy and effort in behind the women's game, and sort of took it from a really amateur sort of base to the semi-professional base, with the Black Ferns girls in the next year getting contracts and being paid. Wellington recognised that the Pride was the second biggest rep program behind the Lions, and to that end started to put some real energy and effort in behind the team. But mate, I have to say that the support I've had from Wellington Rugby over the last 3 years, or 4 years now, has been very, very good. And to the end now that we do have a high performance unit with 25, 26 girls training basically from January 4 mornings a week at 6:30 to 7:30, and then heading off to do their day jobs. We've got a number of contracted Black Ferns players. I think just the professionalism and the drive within the women's game, you can see from the Black Ferns level down and across the Farah Palmer Cup. Mate, you've only got to look back last year. I think 7 out of our 8 games were televised live. So There's been a real effort, and it's been a hell of a ride to be on, and very enjoyable. I mean, it's been different for me. A different environment, a different sort of coaching style, a different understanding of how the female athletes operate, but it's been a really enjoyable one. So, I guess, why did I get into it? I got a little push from Earl, and I'm really pleased that he did give me that wee tip.
Excellent. Hey, mate, you've been doing something right, because it's been going leaps and bounds. But this year, rugby changed its competition formats left, right, and centre. The women's game, obviously, you guys, the club scene shortened and just one round. But how was the level of women's rugby, club rugby out there this year? I mean, I know in a lot of different sports there was more energy, people were rested, people coming back in. But how was the women's game?
Yeah, look, I have to say it's a little bit. The Wellington competition is an interesting one. You've got an almighty runaway beast of a team called Oriental Rongasai, who, look, I think they've scored over 700 points this year in 9 games and had 12 scored against them. So they are a machine, and they wouldn't be out of place in a Farah Palmer Cup, to be fair. You've got Norse, and I guess the concerning thing from us looking across the club competition is there's a real sort of tier. There's the 3 or 4 at the top, and then the rest underneath. And because I guess you've got to be aware that the club sides only really have a base of about 25, maybe if they're lucky, 25 to 30 players. So if you get injuries, you get work commitments, or they do struggle at times to put a team on the park, and that's why you see a number of the lopsided scores that you see at club level. But from a representative perspective, mate, I have to say that we have, I guess, more depth this year, and there is a real pressure on places in this representative side, and I guess that's come from the work that's been done over the last few years. There are a number of players who, within our academy system and our high performance unit, and one through a trial sort of system that have come into the representative state. So, look, we're really happy with the depth that we've got. There's been some really tough calls over the last few weeks to get to where we are today. So, I think something's working. The guys at club level put a really lot of effort in, and but it is tough for numbers across some of the teams.
Yeah. Mate, last week took on Manawatu and good old Otaki. What did you walk away with that game of your squad?
Yeah, look, the process was we named a wider squad earlier in July, I guess, and had a bit of a hit out against the Cyclones, and then trimmed it down. We're carrying a squad of 35, and that people sort of raised their eyebrows a little bit. So why are you carrying so many? Well, I guess the problem that you have is in a representative season, when you stop playing, so the club season finished 3 or 4 weeks ago. If you've got, for an example, a fullback or someone, and we get injuries and we drag them back in, they've had no footy for that month. So it takes them a fair bit of time to get back up to speed. So we carried a wider squad, and we went to and played the Cyclones last week. We ended up on the right side of the ledger with a 27-0 win. And look, I was pretty happy with that. Our set piece was really good. We have a number of, X-factor players who have worn the national fern. So, and in saying that, so did the Cyclones. Fantastic to see Sarah Harini, Sarah Goff out there for the Cyclones. Salika Winiata still, Rihanna Ferris. So, it was a pretty good hit out in not great conditions, but we were pretty happy. We came away with a few ticks in the right places and sort of moving forward to hopefully getting on the right side of the ledger again today in the first championship game.
That's the one, mate. Last question I've got. Yeah, Marco's Tasman Blenheim today. What kind of style are we going to see from the Pride in 2020?
Yeah, look, mate. I mean, so Wellington's only ever played Tasman once before, a couple of years ago at Nelson, and we sort of romped away with it. If you look at the profile of our team, we're we're not the biggest side in the country, and it's funny when you play teams like Tasman and Hawke's Bay and Manawatu, and they sort of look at us, and we've got some height, across the middle row with Jackie Partia Ferretti and Jonah Nanwu and Sunita Lavavi, and now Charlene Gubbs come into our mix as well. He's another ex-Blackburn who's moved down here from Auckland, which I'm very happy about. But we're not when you come up against the Counties and the Aucklands, we get dwarfed by them. So, but we're a reasonably, I guess, powerful forward pack. Our set piece is pretty good, and we have ball runners right throughout the things. But mate, I mean, I'll let you into a little secret. When you've got the best winger in world rugby standing on the left wing, and you've got a couple of others, Georgia Dales, who's come back from playing 3 years of sevens in Japan. We've got some wheels out wide. So, mate, it'll be pretty simple stuff. And people that know me, Millie, who I caught up with last weekend, we're going to bash it up front and get the ball as wide as quick as we can. So we'll be out to do that sort of style, and hopefully we can nail it this afternoon.
Awesome. Bondi, thank you so much for your time. Go well in the 2020 Farah Palmer Cup.
Good on you, mate. Thank you, and good luck, bud. And any time you want to drop in, always happy to have a chat.